Good morning, guys. Today we're going to make some of the award-winning biscuits and gravy that I've been making for several years now. I don't make my own biscuits. I use the Pilsbury butter-tasting Grands. My grandma, she used to make excellent biscuits. I learned a lot of things from her, but when it comes to making biscuits, I'm not that guy. I end up making a mess, and my better half ends up mad about it. I can make them, I can get away with it, but these Pillsbury biscuits are pretty good and they're pretty easy. I do them at 325 for about 20 minutes. Those instructions aren't on the can anymore that I've seen. They put air fryer instructions on there now. So I smush them all together, make sure they're all touching like that. It helps them rise up, makes a taller, fluffier biscuit. So we'll get these in the oven, like I said, for about 20 minutes, and then we'll get started on the gravy. Okay, guys, we're back with the sausage. This is 1 pound of sausage. I like to use the bulk sausage from my local butcher shop. It seems to be the best. You could obviously substitute this for whatever kind of sausage you prefer. I don't use the hot or anything like that. I don't use the sage or the maple. I just use the regular old original, whatever you want to use. You certainly could use whatever flavored sausage if you want to, but it's not going to taste the same. But if you prefer the hot sausage, then it's probably going to suit you anyway. So I started with, I don't know, a teaspoonful of bacon grease in my pan. Sometimes this sausage from up there's a little bit on the lean side. So I usually put a little bit of bacon grease in there, and what's that going to hurt, right? It's bacon. And I cook it pretty slow. I don't get in any hurry to get my sausage browned. It doesn't take very long anyway. Chop it up pretty fine. Everybody around here likes the sausage chopped up pretty fine. You obviously, if you wanted to leave it in a little bit bigger pieces, by all means you could do that as well. That's not going to hurt anything. You'll notice that I don't measure anything. The only known measurement of anything I have in this gravy is the 1 pound of sausage. Everything else will be pretty much by sight and feel, and obviously taste in the end result. I go ahead and I get this chopped up pretty good, and once it starts getting a little bit of brown to it, then I go ahead and season my sausage rather than trying to put a bunch of stuff in after I'm making the gravy. So you want to season it pretty well. Don't go overboard. You can always add a little bit later, but you go to putting a lot of flour and milk and stuff in your gravy, it takes a good bit of salt and pepper to overcome that, and that's the only seasoning I put in it. I don't go crazy with garlic or chili powder or anything like that. I know there's a lot of people that do. They put all kinds of stuff in theirs, but kind of like steaks, salt and pepper is really the only thing it needs, in my opinion. So we'll get this browned up, and I'll bring you back when we get ready to start on the actual gravy part of it. Alright, guys, through the magic of my camera tricks here, we've got some brown sausage here, and this has produced a good bit of grease or fat or whatever you want to refer to it at this point. Here's where I'll show you that I don't measure anything. I just put a pretty good amount of flour in there. I have no idea what that is, probably 4 tablespoons, quarter cup, I don't know, whatever. I just put that in there, and I start coating the sausage with it, mixing it around real good. basically all you really want to do is put flour in there until all of that grease is absorbed, and your sausage will actually kind of start growing because it's being coated with that flour. But you want to get all your grease absorbed. If you happen to put a little too much flour in there and you just end up with little flour balls in your pan, you actually can put a little bit more grease in there at this stage if you really want to. As you can see, my sausage is almost doughy looking at this point, but that's okay. That's actually what you want. I know a lot of people, they take their sausage out of the pan, leave the grease in, do their flour and milk and all that stuff. Some people use like heavy cream and half and stuff like that for the gravy. I just use milk, flour, milk, sausage, salt and pepper. That's all it takes. I add a little bit of bacon grease because, like I said before, why not? But that's pretty much what you're looking for right there. Got everything coated, all the grease is absorbed in the flour. It's kind of doughy looking at this point. Now we're going to add our milk. And again, this is not rocket science either. I've got that much sausage, I've got that much flour in there. I know what it takes. It's fill your pan about halfway full, that way you can still stir it and not make a mess all over your stove. And now we're just going to stir, and stir a lot. We're going to continue to cook this. You may end up, if you've got yours on low like I do right now, you may end up raising your heat just a little bit. I've got a gas stove, and they seem to cook a lot hotter than an electric stove does, so you can get away with more like a medium heat probably on an electric stove. This gas stove, I pretty much cook everything on low unless I'm trying to sear something real fast. But my gravy, a lot of times I'll turn it up about halfway between low and medium, just to overcome the coldness of the milk that I just put in there. And you're just going to stir, keep turning everything up off the bottom, and try not to just splash everything like I just did. Well, I'm kind of crazy about cleaning this thing anyway. It's something about black appliances. So we're just going to keep stirring this stuff until it starts to come to a little bit of a boil. You actually want to boil this. Okay guys, biscuits are done. They actually took about a minute less than normal, so if you set your timer for 20 minutes, you need to start checking on them with about 2 minutes to go. You can see how tall these things have risen. You know, Grands, they rise pretty well anyway, but it's also at about this time that you want to do a little taste test on your gravy, because it's starting to thicken up just a little bit. But the important thing is it's heated through, so you're going to get the right flavor from it now that it's heated through. You take a little taste test. You can see mine's actually thickening up a little bit, getting a few bubbles in it. And as soon as the bubbles come on, I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm cooking this in a cast iron skillet, so it's going to hold plenty of heat to finish this gravy off. It's getting pretty thick already, so we'll have a few bubbles, and then we'll turn the heat off and just kind of let it sit here and do its thing until it gets to the thickness that I like, and then we'll serve it up. It really isn't rocket science. This is pretty easy stuff here, guys. Okay guys, we got our boil going on here. This is the point where you've really got to watch this stuff like a hawk, and you have got to stir it, and you've got to stay with it. Because once it starts to boil, and even actually a little bit before that, is when it wants to stick on you and start to burn on the bottom. You got to keep this stuff moving. So it takes a little bit of effort, and maybe that's why everybody has so much trouble with sausage gravy or any kind of gravy, dried beef gravy, chip gravy, beef gravy, whatever. You got to stay here and you got to stay with it. But we've got our boil going on, so time to shut the heat off. And we'll just let this stuff sit here and do its thing until it's ready, and we'll get it plated up. Okay guys, time for a plate up. Look at these biscuits. These are awful hard to beat. Here's how I do it. I just kind of break them open. I'm going to cover them up with gravy anyway, so I guess they don't have to be beautiful. And there they are. Like I said, I wish I was the guy to put some big old cat head biscuits on this plate in front of you. I'm not that guy. I will tell you that the lady on the Hillbilly Kitchen YouTube channel, she makes some excellent looking biscuits. You may want to go over and check her out. She's got a pretty good channel going right now. Got a lot of subscribers. Seems like a nice lady. Got a lot of good food on her channel as well. Let's get some gravy on this, guys. You want to? And there you have it, guys. There is my award-winning sausage gravy and biscuits. I maybe can't take a whole lot of credit for the biscuits, but the sausage gravy, I've been making that stuff for a long time, and I've not fed it to anyone yet that didn't love it. So give it a try, guys. It's a pretty easy meal. Takes less than 30 minutes. Don't have a whole lot of dishes to clean up afterwards. Give it a shot, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.